You know, sometimes relationships are so hard, or at least they feel that way. You meet someone and everything feels, great. You feel like you're connected. Everything is just, beautiful. And then you go together for a while. You start experiencing each other on different levels, and slowly but surely, you start, feeling a little disrespected. Feeling like something is not the same, and things are moving, and all of these different things probably pop up, from time to time. You're not so sure as you were before, and I guess sometimes we wonder how, we get to this place where the person that once upon a time we were so in love with that every time we think about them we get goosebumps. How do you go from that to the point where you're fighting every day? How do you go from that to the point where you hate each other at this moment and then the next moment you're back in love again? And so it's a difficult thing for people to understand, because if you don't understand it, what you will end up doing is that you'll end up beating upon your partner unnecessarily. You know, your partner will be doing stuff that is just simply, coming out of where it is that they're coming from. They had a certain kind of relationship with their dad, so therefore they're expecting a certain kind of relationship with you, or they're hoping that they don't get a certain kind of relationship from you. And it's like carrying all that baggage inside of their heads about the things that they don't want, because they're so focused on it. It just always happens. It doesn't matter how nice the guy is in the beginning, he's going to turn out to be exactly what it is, because those are the fears that you attract. Now, this is not saying that you're responsible for somebody else's behavior. Absolutely not. The point that I'm trying to make here is that once you take a deep look at who it is that you are and where it is that you're coming from and how it is that your life came to be what it is now, you'll understand there's a lot of things that took place and you made a lot of decisions. And you have to understand that when you make a decision, when you make up your mind to do something in particular, what happens is that you are somewhat locked into that. And so even though you make those decisions when you were a juvenile, when you were not able, to make those kind of, permanent decisions, you made some decisions. I'll never sing again. I'll never shout again. I'll never talk to him again. I'll never talk to another boy. These kind of vibrations. You make all of these amazing decisions. And then you're going through life not remembering that you make those decisions, but at the same time, those decisions play a role in your life because they occupy a certain space. There's something that is just kind of locked down, and it's just incredible what happens. So unless you get the opportunity to release those things, then you're just going to continue to do the same thing over and over and over in your life. When someone makes you angry, it cannot be the person why you are acting the way that you are. Even if they're telling you the biggest lie, even if they've done you the worst thing in the world, the way that you are acting is not based on what it is that they did. It's based on what it is that you have inside of you that you need to get out. That's just the plain and simple. That's just how it is. Now, understanding that you're not responsible for anybody else's actions, you have nothing to hold on to. So when someone does something, it's just like shame on them. But at the same time, shame on you for going through life and being burdened by these things all these years, when oftentimes the people who did these things have forgotten, long forgotten, all about it, and they've moved on. Yes, I understand that it hurts. And yes, I understand that there are certain things that you want to work it through. You don't just want to drop it until you work it through. But I'm letting you know right now that whatever it is that you think you're looking for, you already have it. All you have to do is to recognize that you are free now. Once you are bounded, right now, you are free. What are you going to do with this freedom? Besides worrying about what happened yesterday and besides getting caught up in all of that, what are you going to do today? Your life is absolutely perfect the way it is. It's absolutely perfect. And whatever it is that you want to change in this moment, you can change it. But you can't do anything about the past. So why do you keep harping on it? It's time to just let it go. Break free. Break free. So relationships are hard because people don't understand that people come with stuff that is so deep that they don't even realize it. They don't recognize. You see someone and they're acting all shy and you're going to say, oh, that's just the way they are. That's not the way they are. At one point in their life, they spoke up and someone made them feel a certain kind of way. And ever since then, they refuse to speak in public. They shy away from certain kind of things because they don't want to ever be embarrassed like that ever again. So it's really, it's really very important that you understand it. Because once you understand it, you'll never be bounded by anything or anyone. People go through things in their lives and it makes them act the way that they do. So no matter how you think it is because of you and they're hurting you and they're doing all of these things to you, they're not doing anything to you. The reason why they're getting as angry as they're getting is because the anger inside them needs to come out. And if it is that you can find the space to just kind of let them breathe it, let them say it without taking it personal, let them say it and let it just kind of go through you as an experience that they need to have so that they can free themselves. If you are able to do that with the people in your life, you will be amazed as to how perfect your relationships become. Even the ones that you think are the most threatening and the most vicious, those are the people that hurt the most. Those are the people that carry the most pain and just need the release. And that's why they come to you. And that's why, why do you think it happens? It's when you're in love with someone. You don't want to hurt that person. The anger is not towards that person. The anger is towards getting it out. That's what it is towards. But when it is that the egos get involved and you start thinking that this thing is about you, then that changes everything. And that's when the fight becomes a fight that cannot be won by either side because neither side can ever make contact because there's an imaginary evil ball that exists between the two of you that just keeps bouncing off of each other. And so the real you can never be seen. But if it is that somehow, some way, somehow, one person can stop and realize what's going on and decide that they're going to go all in, it's never about you. It's never about you. People come into your life for you to have experiences with them so you can learn what it is that you need to learn and you can get what it is that you need to get so you can go through your life. That's why they come into your life. They don't come into your life to harm you or to hurt you. They come into your life to give up. There's a particular reason why they're there. The moment you get the lesson, you're done. And if it is that they need to go away, they'll go away. And if they find some other way in your life, they find some other way in your life. But the intensity or whatever the case is, it's like you're done. You got what it is and you can somehow move on. You ever been in a relationship or have some friends, you know, that it was very intense and you saw each other all the time and then all of a sudden it's just like, well, you know, once a week or maybe even once a year or maybe even, you know, once every blue moon you hit up and hang out on Facebook or something. It's just time. Here's the deal. Today represents a new day, a new chapter for you to write. And every moment, if you document just how blessed you really are because of your understanding of what it is that you need to be the best you possible. How blessed you are to have that knowing. Because once you have that knowing as to what it is that it takes for you to be the best that you can possibly be, it is all of the experiences that you've had. That is who you are right now. And so if it is that you're still coming from a place of anger, it means that there's something back there that you have not cleared. And you need to take a look at it. If you keep on having this fight with someone or you hate someone or whatever the case is, stop believing that it's the person that's in trouble. It is you that's in trouble because you're the one that's carrying all that stuff, all that weight from back there. We have a tendency to believe that if I hate you enough, then you're going to feel that pain. And you're wrong because you are the vessel. Bitterness and hatred only contaminates the vessel which contains it. And that vessel is you. So take a look at the stuff that happened back there. and take a look at yourself in all the process. And you're gonna have to face some things that, I don't know, maybe they were tough, but in all situations, people go through life on their journey, and we encounter each other on our journey, and we interact in ways that will build us and move us. Well, you know what? We interact in ways that will move us in the direction that we need to go. And so sometimes you might feel beat up and you might feel betrayed and all of these different kind of things. And it simply stops you from hanging out with a particular person. And then you start hanging around, whether it is that you found yourself in that way or you start hanging around with somebody else, whatever. But you grow. So let me just quickly wrap up. Relationships don't have to be hard. And sometimes when a relationships get to the point where you start fighting and you start wanting to hurt each other because you love each other, nah, that don't make sense. It's time to go. Take some time off. Do you? Take a look at who it is that you've become. Take a look at the things that have driven you. Take a look at the things that make you cringe. Just take a look at who it is that you are and what it is that it takes for you to become the best you possible. You never have to worry about anybody else. You just have to choose how you interact with them. As you get to know them, you choose more and more how you interact with them. You can't choose how you interact with them and then blame them for how they behave. If they're telling you who they are, you can always choose how you interact with them. Today is a blessing. Every day is a blessing. Don't spend your days in conflict and bitterness and hatred for people and all that kind of stuff. It takes too much from you. It takes way too much from you. Happiness is now. Happiness is right now. Breathe.